Well, it looks like they got to Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz out as the nominee for Attorney General. Thanks for hanging out. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. I appreciate you. Yesterday, I had a hell of a migraine. Yeah, holy mackerel, just a gangsta migraine. So I didn't do a show. I appreciate you giving me some time to heal and get right back to it. Told you we'd be back today, and we are back today. And holy mackerel, what a day it is. I will read to you the basically the resignation of from nomination of Matt Gaetz. So I'm going to put the spectacles on. Let's just get down to business here. All right. I had an excellent meeting with senators yesterday. This is Matt Gaetz's Twitter account. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition. There is no time to waste on a needless, protracted Washington scuffle or kerfuffle, I would have said. Thus, I will be withdrawing my name from consideration to serve as Attorney General. Trump's DOJ must be in place and ready on day one. I remain fully committed to see that Donald John Trump is the most successful president in history. I will forever be honored that President Trump nominated me to lead the Department of Justice, and I am certain he will save America. This is nothing but tick me off. I thought he would be great. I thought he'd be great just for the 4 years, 2 years, however long you wanted to serve as Attorney General. He could have stepped down, whatever it was. The guy, we need some scorched earth in the Department of Justice, and that was the guy to bring it. So who would step in? You know, Josh Hawley, maybe. Trey Gowdy. Remember Trey Gowdy? Trey Gowdy was like if I had a fantasy team for congressional hearings, he's the captain. He's my first pick. So maybe like a Trey Gowdy. There's a couple that I could see that aren't swampy that would go in and just absolutely lay waste to these idiots. And I was sad to hear Matt Gaetz got is exactly what Matt Gaetz did. Matt Gaetz knew he was going to get at very best Kavanaugh, but it probably would have been worse. He was told in no uncertain terms what they were going to do to him if he did not withdraw. And which kind of makes me think, did he do it? You know, like, and that's what this looks like. This looks like he did it. But also leaves us 2 spots for him. It also leaves I apologize, Marco Rubio's vacant seat. So if DeSantis could come around to appointing him to that would be make him a senator. He'd probably be more dangerous on the Senate side. And he is still a representative elect. So I think the rules are that he could go back. We'll see. He did, Truman, he did step down from his congressional seat. He resigned his congressional seat. So we'll see what that is, because he is still technically, as of today, a representative elect. So we'll see what, he got diddied. Yeah. Something. And it is pretty bad. I think it's just to not have an actual, not trial, an actual, this is called a job interview, a hearing, is pretty bad. It's pretty bad that didn't happen, but I think Gaetz was told exactly what would happen. I gotta read this to you. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm on the fence at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, sometimes I'm like brilliant. Sometimes I'm like, just please shut up, please, pretty please. But she's a fundraising guru. She had this to say on X. This is before Matt Gaetz stepped down, because what they're saying is we're going to release the investigation notes. They're threatening him. They're shaking him down. So Marjorie Taylor Greene posted this, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You ready for this? For my Republican colleagues in the House and Senate, if we are going to release ethics reports and rip apart our own that Trump has appointed, then put it all out there for the American people to see. Yes, all the ethics reports and claims, including the one I filed, all of your sexual harassment and assault claims that were secretly settled, paying off victims with taxpayer money, the entire Jeffrey Epstein files, tapes, recordings, witness interviews, but not just those. There's more. Epstein isn't the only asset. Is she implying he's still alive? If we're going to dance, let's all dance in the sunlight. I'll make sure we do. Don't doubt MTG. You can dislike her. You can think she's a lunatic. Do not doubt her. That'll be fun. Underestimate MTG. You do not know that level of crazy. You see, she's intelligent too. On top of that, it's not like AOC. AOC just crazy. Oh man. Herman Cain and the allegations. He dropped out of the presidential race. Allegations disappeared. Right. Rhonda, that's a really good point. Do you also remember Jeff Flake? Right here in good old Arizona. Right in Arizona. Jeff Flake. That was during the Kavanaugh hearings. They had something on Jeff Flake. Senator Kuntz pulled him aside into what they call a cloakroom and pulled him aside, had a 5-minute recess with him. They both pop out of the cloakroom. Jeff Flake announces we want to give, I think it was another 15 days for an investigation into 8th grade shenanigans of Justice Kavanaugh. I mean, he was basically, I'm not ready to vote. I'm not going to vote yes for this guy until I have more investigation. Here's something you might not know. Christine Blasey Ford became a millionaire thanks to Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein set up 2 GoFundMe accounts for her. She walked away with 7 figures. The swamp. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, but I don't like it because it makes it look like he's guilty. And if he is, fine. I don't get it. Guys, help me out with this. Men, even women, I help me out with this. Just a thought. I don't care if he thought she was 18, bruh. Have y'all seen High School Seniors? My son's high school junior, and he's dating a very pretty girl. Ugh. Yuck. What the hell? I mean, not even 20s, 30s for me, not even 30s. Like, that's not attractive. Ugh. Selling Queen Bee this the other day. I've seen pictures of her back when she was a little younger, and I was like, hey, yeah, she's hot. Yeah. But she aged like fine wine. She got better looking by the day. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, not into that. I don't, these freaks, even if it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't know she was 17. She said she was 18. Still, dude, there's something really wrong with you. Really wrong with you. Whew. So, yeah, that's kind of ugly to think that might have been true. You know what I mean? Like, oh God. So let's get into some business that's similar. We can do this because this is in other news. I appreciate you hanging out. We're gonna, by the way, thanks to Rhonda, we're gonna get a lesson on is it time to understand Putin? Like, really, what's going on and why Putin thinks the way he does? And the media is telling you to think a certain way, but he's kind of like, I kind of get it. Yeah, so we'll think about that. Let's get to Sunny Hostin, shall we? Sunny Hostin, I believe it's Hostin, but I'm just going to go with that. Tomato, beach. Never mind. Okay, let's get to this here.
Could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding further on,
$117 million has been paid out by Congress for sexual harassment and sexual assault claims. They're still in office. You can't nominate someone who has allegations against him?
in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Watch this. Now, check this out. This is absolutely crazy. Whoopi calls her out. Whoopi gets a little note in her ear here, right? Watch this.
You have a legal note. I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi.
Look at her face. Watch.
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
How could you?
Now let me show you what this is. That's never happened on The View. Have you ever seen that happen? No, never happened on The View. What is happening right now is ABC's about to tank The View. The View gone. MSNBC, NBC is dropping MSNBC. NBC's ratings are being hurt by MSNBC because people associate the two together, which they should, and they're not watching NBC either. So MSNBC. That's why you saw we played it at Morning Joe and Mika where, we went to Mar-a-Lago to see the great President Trump to open a discussion and a dialogue because here at MSNBC, they're not even paid as much as Harry Potter's uncle, Rachel Maddow. Anyway, they're gone. And MSNBC, when departing from NBC, will have there's no revenue to pay this. There's no advertising revenue that would pay those kind of salaries. They're done. Same thing is happening here with ABC. Disney's like, guess what? We see the writing on the wall. We have now taken the pulse of the nation. These idiots, they got to go. They've already made sure that they've not optioned both Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. They're like, you're gone, citing toxicity. Yeah, right, Jim. That was total teleprompter. That was, or just a cue card from a lawyer going, read this now. And I'm sorry, Rhonda. No. It's okay. It was a link that was sent to me by the other Rhonda. Sorry, my fault. But yes, so we'll play that as well. What is it? It was what does the MS stand for? I think you're setting up a punchline here, but that was actually part of the Microsoft network. So Microsoft and NBC, when Microsoft had their antitrust case, they had to spin off MSNBC. That is basically detached from it. It was a Microsoft play. The M stood for Microsoft. One of that's stupidity. Yeah, something like that. That's what I believe it was. Oh my gosh! Wait till I just saw it. Wait till you guys see the decompression session today. Fantastic. Another fantastic commercial. So we'll be playing that as well. And we're not, so that's what, buddy. But it did sound like you were setting up a joke. I'm still reeling from what we were told the trailer we watched at the end of last week. PMSNBC. Amen to that, Jim. Amen to that. Oh, goodness sakes, these groups. And I don't even take that as sexist. I think it's funny. But that's what's going on in that area. We have now seen. Oh, did you see this? Who in the world is trying to call me right now? Okay. Did you happen to see that President Trump is going to allow, or is trying or attempting to allow, I don't know really the rules of the game, allow podcasters and streamers into the White House press room? What? Oh, because that is a good showing, right? That's a showing of we're done. We're done with NBC, ABC, Fox News, CNN. We're just done. We're done. I mean, I've watched a few clips from Cuomo's show. Just pretty damn entertaining. It's actually not. It's not as bad as it used to be when he was on CNN taking his marching orders from idiots. And so wasn't really mad at it. Anyway. The new media is streaming and podcast, period. Streaming and podcast is literally the new medium. That is the news. That's what we're dealing with. So to allow to kind of give that this media a shot at a press briefing room is fantastic. Is it? You're right, Ron. It'd be fantastic. It'd be good stuff. Did you know the openly trans congressperson? I'm not calling the guy dressed as a chick a woman. I'm sorry. This is a person. I'm going to say a person. That is accurate. Okay, that is accurate and that is not offensive. You are a person. The congresshuman that is a biological male and was on The View, of course. Nancy Mace is not excited about this. Nancy Mace, trans governmental insight. Yes. Trans swamper. Nancy Mace is not happy about this. Representative Mace is a firebrand. She doesn't care. She has put forth legislation, the Congressional Bathroom Act or something like that makes sure that you use the bathroom of your assigned gender at birth. And it pisses me off. I'm sorry. I get it. I understand that. We shouldn't have men should not be in women's bathrooms. I'm sorry. It should not happen. It really, really should not happen. I don't, but it is happening. But we have one congressperson, one, and you want to make a congressional act because that person's coming in instead of, hey, can we just put a bathroom in this person's office? How about that? Would that be cool? Or can we just, I mean, we gave $60 billion to a little dictator talk. Can we carve out 30, 40 grand, put in a dual sex bathroom? Can't we? Please. I mean, just get over it. Why are we passing legislation because of one? I'm not going to use a bathroom. And I get it. She's a survivor of rape. I do understand that. I understand that. Mace, you want to never get, you want to be in Congress for the rest of your life? Stream this live. Go to the congressperson's office, knock on the door, welcome them to Congress. Say you have a genuine concern, and I would like to sit and talk about it. As a rape victim, a rape survivor, I would like to talk about this because that's my concern. I'm not saying you are going to rape me. I'm saying that if we allow this, they can open the gates to that, and I'm concerned, and I hope you'd sit down with me. You literally will be in Congress the rest of your life. You will never lose another election. But that's not how it's played. It's not how the game is played. That's Brendan. That's exactly what I thought yesterday. I'm like, put it in where they're getting rid of the liquor store. So just put in a bathroom that just, or why don't you do it like, remember, I don't know if y'all are from Arizona, if everybody here is from Arizona, but remember when we had the clubs downtown and they had everybody's just using the same bathroom. Everybody's using the same bathroom. You open up, it was a stall, and then you closed it. And when you locked the door, it frosted the glass. You just go in, just go to the bathroom. I mean, it's a lot like it's a lot like going to a concert and all the porta johns that are out there, and you don't know no women and men's. You just go and do your thing. Yeah. Or we just do it like Dodger Stadium, y'all. It's a trough. Whew. Talk about anxiety as a kid. As a kid, I'm like, what you want me to go just pull it out here for everyone to see, and everybody's got theirs out, and this is just a damn Dodger dog fest up here. I'm cracking me up today. But anyway, let's Nancy Mace actually took this little reporter and gave him a spanking. Check it out.
Here's Congresswoman Mace.
Look at it. Okay, right away, you're an idiot. I don't like you. I immediately, here she is. Let's go. Here's Congresswoman Mace. And they're running towards. Now, come on. Dude, come on. Just be better.
Congresswoman Mace, can I ask you a question as you walk here? So the question is, with your piece of
Sup with that fur coat, girl.
legislation about banning women from using.
She's giving Cruella vibes right now. I'm not going to lie to you. She's giving Cruella DeVille. Totally. 100%. Look at this. Cruella DeVille. If Cruella DeVille was hot. Yeah, okay. Here we go.
My question to you is,
it doesn't go far enough. I'll be filing more bills.
You have said that it was created in response to Congresswoman-elect McBride.
100%. And
But should legislation be created targeted at one specific person?
It doesn't mention anyone in the legislation, but
You've said it was aimed at her.
No, I have said it's a result of this. I'm not
Aimed at who?
going to allow biological men into women's private spaces. I will stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room.
She said penis.
Hell no. I'm not going to stand for it. And the speaker said it would be in the House rules package. If it's not, I'll be ready with a motion, a privileged motion to force a vote on this. This is not okay.
You check your white privilege at the door, young lady.
I'm a survivor of rape. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. And I'm not going to allow any man in any female private spaces.
Now, Speaker,
end of story. And by the way, I'm getting death threats from men pretending to be women.
Oh.
Why is it that these crazy people, the insanity, the radical left, are willing to kill women over a man's right to be in a women's restroom?
Speaker Johnson has said he wants to treat every new member with the words dignity and respect.
This has nothing to do with dignity and respect. Quite literally nothing to do with dignity and respect. Zero.
Forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing
What an ass this guy is.
women to share private spaces with men.
This is why networks are going down. This is why nobody wants to listen to bozos and asshats like this guy.
Is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy, because that's not okay.
Yeah,
it's not
get
okay.
him, man.
Thank you, Congressman. We're going to peel away from this conversation, Kira. So a little bit of the context of what.
Oh, shut up, dude. Yeah, this guy. Oh, yeah. How about it? I mean, do you agree with it? Does it need legislation? Because is it legislation for what she was saying? Is it legislation that bans biological males in all female locker rooms? I ain't mad at that program at all. Okay, let's do it. I don't think that's discriminatory. Once you become a female, go through the process. Guess what? You can go ahead and use the females. Go for it. Go through the process. There is a process. Which begs the question. If the genitalia you're born with does not make you a male or a female, then how does altering those genitalia change your sex? Huh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, Nance has it right. Yeah, the no man guy got it. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. For sure. If it is quite literally for one congressperson, I'm like, okay, we don't need to jack up legislation. We don't need to piss everybody off when we can just make another bathroom. Call it good. Crying out loud. And if they made another bathroom and this congressperson still insists on going into the women's room, then you know that you made the right call, right? That answers it. That answers all of it. I'm tired of the debate right now. I'm just really tired of the debate because, as Governor Youngkin said, he said, as far as men playing in women's sports, men being in women's locker rooms, biological men being in women's locker rooms, this isn't controversial. The vast majority of the country said, no, we don't want any of that stuff. Okay. Grizz, what is up, my man? Heard you getting all stitched up. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling good. And yesterday I had, did you miss me yesterday? I had, I don't have a doctor's note though, Grizz. I had a migraine, and dude, I was very, very close to just grabbing a super happy pill because it was needed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you bring a note? What's up? Mm-hmm. I love how we have Rondas all over the place. Yes. So one for now, who knows how many down the road? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying, Truman, is okay. So yes, it is just that one now, but how many are going to be down the road that are trans and are going to try to use the women's bathroom? Okay. I don't disagree with that. I just think, oh God, during this transition, I'm on a roll. During this transition, this administrative transition, I mean, we have so much more crap to deal with. I mean, we were just talking about Matt Gaetz. I mean, there's a lot going on. Please be Trey Gowdy. Please be Trey Gowdy. Or Josh Hawley. I'm good either way for the AG. I mean, this is what I'm going with. All right, let's get to the lesson at hand. Back to the lecture at hand. That's right. Snoop said that. I am not a Putin apologist, not a Xi Jinping apologist. I am not a Kim Jong-un apologist, Iranian apologist. But I do know this. There are multiple sides to every story. And when we are told Putin's unprovoked war, Putin's price hike, remember all that? Putin was just public enemy number one. And that guy was just sitting there sipping his vodka, just smiling, giggling, thinking it was hilarious because it was embarrassing mostly. And why is Putin doing what he's doing? It is not completely. There might be some slice of the pie there that he's crazy, that he's a dictator. Could be. But what about our involvement? What about us? What did we do to make this happen? How did we get away? How did we, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, I'll say that. How did we get away with asking America, we the people, to believe that this is all Vladimir Putin? That we didn't do anything, we didn't have any involvement. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was that evil Vlad guy. Well, let's take a trip down memory lane here and get a little history lesson. What do you think?
This is not an attack by Putin on Ukraine in the way that we are told every day. This started in 1990, February 9th, 1990.
1990, that's when Chub Rock jumped upon the scene with the mean and a pocket full of grain. I'll stop going.
James Baker III, our Secretary of State, said to Mikhail Gorbachev, NATO will not move 1 inch eastward.
Not 1 inch.
If you agree to German unification, basically ending World War II. And Gorbachev said that's very important. Yes, NATO doesn't move, and we agreed to German unification. The U.S. then cheated on this, already starting in 1994.
1994 rolls around, Billy. Hey, those Polish chicks are pretty hot. Yeah, I was with a couple of Polish hookers. I mean, diplomats the other day, and I think we should allow them into NATO.
When Clinton signed off on basically a plan to expand NATO all the way to Ukraine.
Oops.
This is when the so-called neocons took power. And Clinton was the first agent of this. And the expansion of NATO started in 1999 with Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic.
I don't know about them Hungarian chicks, but I sure am hungry for a Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? All right.
At that point, Russia didn't much care. There was no border other than with the Königsberg, but other than that, there was no direct threat. Then the U.S. led the bombing of Serbia in 1999. That was bad, by the way, because that was a use of NATO.
By the way, I wasn't laughing at a bombing. I was laughing at the, did you say diplomats? That's freaking hilarious.
To bomb a European capital, Belgrade, 78 straight days to break the country apart. The Russians didn't like that very much. But Putin became president, they swallowed it, they complained, but even Putin started out pro-European, pro-American, actually asked maybe we should join NATO when there was still the idea of some kind of mutually respectful relationship.
How about that? Putin was like, dude, okay, I'm down with what you guys got going on here. I didn't like what you did there in Belgrade. Didn't like that. But hey, you know, with this NATO thing, let's say, hey, let's talk. I mean, I want to be part of the cool kids club. I'm the new prez here, and I just want to, you know, I want things to go well. Yeah.
Then 9/11 came. Then came Afghanistan, and the Russians said, "Yeah, we'll support you. We understand to root out terror."
Yeah, the Russians are like, we told you about them Afghanis. So look, we fought them for years, and you wouldn't help them. We told you they were the bad guys. The reason why I'm playing this here, and the reason why this is so important, and yes, Ron, I know you've done this before, and thank you for emailing that to me. But I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm asking for just clarity and understanding. It's a lot like anything that we do in our debate politically. Our debate politically usually is my side's right, your side's wrong. I'm not going to understand your side. I just want you to understand my side. So to win any of those and to actually make any progress in any of those debates, you need to understand the other side. This is understanding why Putin's like, you screw all of you. Do you guys keep hosing me? And we're just at Afghanistan right now. Putin was like, literally, me and Mikhail told you that they suck. And you all helped them. And they're fighting us now they're fighting you with the weapons you gave them to fight us. Ha! There had to have been some poetic justice there. Putin had to have found a lot of, Gorbachev had to have found a lot of just comfort in the arms that we gave Afghanistan to fight Russia are now being used against us, or were then at the time being used against us. They had to have giggled at that. Yeah.
But then came two other decisive actions.
Here we go. Watch this.
In 2002, the United States unilaterally walked out of the anti-ballistic missile treaty.
That is gigantic. How many of y'all know about this? Unilaterally, again, it's like essentially like to pull out of Afghanistan. We're allies. Screw you guys. We're going to unilaterally pull out of this. U.S. is gone. We're out of this because we have plans. Do you think that pissed Putin off?
This was probably the most decisive event, never discussed in this context. But what it did was trigger the U.S. putting in missile systems in Eastern Europe.
Pointing at Russia.
That Russia views as a dire, direct threat. In 2000,
as they should.
4-5, we engaged in a soft regime change operation in Ukraine.
Soft regime change. Now, listen, this is a very important part of it.
Ukraine. But in 2009, Yanukovych won the election, and he became president in 2010 on the basis of neutrality for Ukraine. That calmed things down because the U.S. was pushing NATO, but the people of Ukraine on the opinion polls didn't even want to be in NATO. They knew that the country is divided between ethnic Ukrainian, ethnic Russian. What do we want with this? We want to stay away from your problems. So in February.
So basically, I want you to understand that Ukraine was like, we don't want any part of this. NATO can do what you do. We don't want to be a part of NATO. Russia can do what they want to do. We don't want to be a part of Russia. We're Ukraine. We're good. Everybody's happy. Don't bring us into the mix. Then the little dictator taught.
22nd, 2014, the United States participated actively in the overthrow of Yanukovych.
For who?
A typical U.S. regime change operation. Have no doubt about it. And the Russians did us a favor. They intercepted a really ugly call between Victoria Nuland, my colleague at Columbia University now, between her and the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Piat, who's a senior State Department official till today. And they talked about regime change.
Yes, they did.
They said, who's going to be the next government?
Let's go.
All of this is to say, the U.S. then said, okay, now NATO's really going to enlarge. And Putin,
look at Annie Blinken,
kept saying,
look at the little dictator dot. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at the little dictator dot.
Stop. You promised no NATO enlargement. It's been, by the way, I forgot to mention in 2004.
Yeah, I forgot this part.
Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, 7 more countries in the not 1 inch eastward.
Yeah, not 1 inch.
And then, okay, it's a long story, but.
Yeah, it is, buddy. Kim, wrap it up.
The U.S. kept rejecting the basic idea, don't expand NATO to Russia's border in a context where we're.
Okay, so he's going to keep on going. It is fantastic, and it's a really, really good. It really is a good listen, but we don't have another 10 minutes for him to go on and on. Now you get it. Now you see what if you're Vladimir Putin, you can't touch Ukraine. The hell I can't. The hell I can't. You can't expand NATO. You did. You can't pull out of the long range missile treaty. You can't do that. You did. The ballistic missile treaty. Excuse me. But now you're saying I can't move? Oh, hell no. And by the way, let's think about it. Yeah, Barry was president. Yeah. 2014. Yeah, this is why I gave him Crimea. I gave him Crimea because I felt bad. It's the right thing to do. The time when Barack Obama was president, and Vladimir Putin, don't make no mistake about it. It's like, okay, we're gonna put a toe in the water here because this is BS what they're doing to us. Screw America. You have to think, how could you not think that? I mean, I'm not talking about a psychosis. I'm not talking about dictatorship. I'm just talking about as a human, you keep getting screwed over. You're like, no, I ain't playing by the rules. You guys aren't playing by the rules. So they stepped the toe in the water. They said, we're gonna go get this little spot right here. We call it Crimea. We're gonna go grab that. And you remember Obama and Biden? Go ahead and do it. Yeah. You go ahead. No boots on the ground. We'll put no boots on the ground. They didn't. And they took Crimea. Russia's like, okay, I get it now. In comes the dawn. Donald Trump wins. And then all of a sudden, zip, Putin's silent. Putin he's just like, nope, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to stay up here. We're going to drink our vodka and everything is nice, neat and orderly here. Okay? Everything's fine. Well, then Biden wins. Biden wins and Putin's like, oh, hell. Hey, this is the same guy that gave us. Yeah. This is the same guy that gave us Crimea. And they gave us this little dictator tot here in Ukraine. We're just going to go take Ukraine. This is a great idea. They're going to do it. No, trust me, guys. They're not going to do anything. Trust me. We got to take Crimea with these guys. These guys just hand it over. It's all good. What Putin apparently didn't know is that something to the effect of a few dozen biolabs, pharmaceutical labs, were placed in Kyiv That's why Kyiv hasn't been touched, by the way. Kyiv has not been touched. The capital. You're going to war with a country. You haven't touched Kyiv. Kyiv has more restaurants and bars open than before the invasion. Seriously. Okay? This has become now a giant money laundering operation, a transfer of wealth. This has become one of the biggest coup craptastic things that doesn't help you and I. It just robs you and I, and it enriches everyone else, or the elites at the top, or those that had anything to do with it. This was eye-opening to me because this guy's right. This guy's 100% right. U.S. taxpayers subsidize alcoholism. What are you talking about? Nancy Pelosi's liquor cabinet? Oh, yeah. Are we still buying Russian oil? We have been in all of Scotty. What are you misinformed? Anyway, the drinking toxic chemicals in Kyiv. Sure, why not? Yeah, they come on, it's Kyiv. These guys are tough. Biden gave the little dictator Todd a pass by paying $4 billion. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so back to where were we? Are we still Russian oil? Yeah, the Europeans definitely are. So that whole we're going to break them. They're stronger against the dollar than they were prior to. They took a little dip, and those sanctions did absolutely nothing. And how could they have done anything? The current president quite literally told Vlad, here's exactly what we are going to do if you do that. Not we're going to sanction you. We're just going to turn your place. We're going to set your nation back to the Stone Age. This is what we're going to do. And so Vlad got to go, all right, guys, let's make a little, Ben Franklin here. Let's go little pros and cons. Because they knew exactly what was going to happen. They're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Yeah. Keep on believing. Here we go. You might have pulled a muscle reaching for that one, but it was still fantastic. Now it's this evil Putin. Nah, it's a fed up Putin. He's fed up. He's like, okay, you guys are going to bring. Now we're trying to let Ukraine into NATO. Holy hell! Now we have all of the border nations with Russia. We have all of them as NATO. I mean, it's like all the bullies circling the kid in the cafeteria, all of them sitting at the same table, and there he is, like, I'm screwed. How would you react? I would tell you that it would. Oh, by the way, I take Vladimir over anyone, Lynn. That dude's former head of the KGB. That guy's killed more people than we know. No, literally, like all the people you know in your life, Vlad's killed probably with his own hands more people than we've probably ever met in our lives. Yep. All right, let's switch gears here, but just definitely something to chat with the friends. Let's go a little more local here. The marching orders for the press have been take out Matt Gaetz, which they did. And the second marching order is talk about mass deportations. Mass deportations is what they're going to try to hang Donald Trump with. They're going to try to hang the Republican Party with mass deportations. The mass deportations are the worst thing in the world. So if you haven't seen the pattern yet, the pattern is get every governor, every Democrat governor you can find, get them onto CNN and MSNBC so 8 people can watch them. And ask them the question, will you support Donald Trump's mass deportation?
You've said that you're not going to help with Donald Trump's aspirations to do mass deportations. I think there are a lot of people out there who are happy to hear that. What can you specifically do to stop?
Yeah, all the families of the people that have been killed by migrants. Yeah, go ahead and I'm sure they're really happy to hear that.
Stop his efforts moving forward as once he becomes president.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, as you know, it's
okay. This Butte, if you don't remember her, this is and yes, Lynn, Matt Gaetz is gone. He stepped down he removed his name for consideration for AG. If you remember this Butte, this is the Butte in New Mexico that unilaterally declared an emergency on firearms and essentially banned firearms in New Mexico. Because only the meth dealers can have guns in New Mexico. But this is the idiot that pulled that off.
unlawful. You can't use the military. You can't do mass deportation. So
yes, you can do mass
any
deportation.
Federal administration.
Yes, you can.
You should expect.
No, you quite literally can. You can. I don't understand. You can't do mass deportations. Again, if we just round up the hundreds of thousands that are currently in jail cells and send them home, yeah, that's mass deportation right there. And by the way, he's got a long way to go. Barack, La Raza dubbed him deporter in chief. He over 3 million he sent back. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, Barack Obama did.
States, and I think you should expect some bipartisan support, not just by the Democratic governors.
Yes.
Is that violating the Constitution and the law? We're not going to do that. We ought to be working on making sure that violent criminals and criminal activity is stopped everywhere. There isn't a state.
Is stopped? You're from the meth capital of the nation. She's the governor of New Mexico. What are you talking about? You moron. Whatever. What up, Flava Flav? What is with that medallion? Anyway, Flava wants his necklace back. No, you need to take the ones. You need to take the illegal aliens that came here and committed crimes and send them back. Start there. You're not going to stop crime, but you're going to get these people back and stop milking us taxpayers.
That isn't interested, whether you're an American citizen or not. And he effectively, Trump, killed the bipartisan border deal. Not the first time that he's.
By the way, he didn't do. Okay. Again, this is MSNBC, so it's okay. It's Jen Kandasaki. Someone was watching. Donald Trump was not in office or even living in D.C. when that bipartisan border bill came along that, by the way, had very little, like I think $2 billion for border security and $60 billion for Ukraine in it. Donald Trump did not do any of the sort. Back to this bozo.
He's done that. We need more agents. We need more collective effort so that we're bringing border security and holding people accountable where they are. Disrupting family status and the economy, inhumane, cruel, unfair.
What inhumane, cruel, and unfair is what you just said, the economy. What she was talking about was make sure they're picking stuff in the fields. They're picking our fruit. That's what she's talking about. Because the Democrat Party is the most fundamentally racist organization we have ever seen. Disrupting families? Okay, you can make an argument for disrupting families, and those aren't the people that are going to be deported, by the way. Ending birthright citizenship is a huge step in stopping that from happening again. They're not going to revoke citizen status of the babies. They're not stupid. You have to understand, and I think it might give you a little bit of breathing room here too, is to understand that none of this is going to happen. This is not everything they say Project 2025 and all that crap. It's not going to happen because although there's a mission at hand that is beginning, and it's fantastic that it is beginning, that they are members of a party, and of that party, they would like to be elected again. They don't want to relinquish power to the Democrats. So they do have to play ball just a little bit, right? They have to play ball, Scotia. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm in charge. Jim, I'm telling you that much, buddy. Raping, obviously, Lynn, raping children is no bueno. Did you guys see that Alvin Bragg's assistant DA was and I'm sorry, I apologize for sounding so excited about this, but it is there's just a heaping dose of irony here. Alvin Bragg, who lets all criminals go, especially the illegals, just go, no cash bail, anything, just go, just fine. Not prosecuting crimes under this level or something like that. His assistant DA was mugged and robbed by an illegal. Surprisingly, they found him, huh? Yeah. Yep. Assaulted but he was arrested this morning. They found him arrested. But yeah, you're gonna let him go. No, crime's not up. No, these people don't commit crimes. Remember Kamala saying that? These are the last people that are gonna commit a crime. I'm gonna throw that in again. How about that? Yeah, but that bows that we're done with her because New Mexico is what New Mexico is. New Mexico is a laughing stock, absolutely laughing stock. I don't know what this is, so hold on. Let me see. Let me kind of see what this is.
In goddamn missile systems.
Oh, that's okay. It's the same guy. Okay, I wanted to make sure that was the thing. I didn't know he was going to say GD missiles. Before we get our decompression session, this is a very, very smart man. This is a Nobel-winning human being talking about not essentially what Doge should do, or what Doge is going to do, the Department of Government Efficiency, but what they should do. This is Milton Friedman talking about our government. Check it out.
Write down the list quickly and have you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Keep them or abolish them.
Love this. How awesome is this? This is the game I want to play with everybody that wants to run for office.
Department of Agriculture.
Abolish.
Gone. Department of Commerce.
Abolish.
Gone. Department of Defense.
Keep.
Keep it. Department of Education.
Abolish.
Gone. Energy.
Abolish.
Housing.
Except that energy ties in with the military.
Well, then we shove it under defense.
That's
the little
right.
bit that handles the nuclear,
Right, that ought to go under
plutonium
defense.
and so forth goes under defense, but we abolish the rest of it.
Look at that. Clarify. No, just clarify. Don't just say that. Just clarify. I love it.
Health and Human Services.
There is room for some public health activities to prevent contagion, such a thing as, for example.
So you'd keep the National Institutes of Health, say, and the Center for Disease Control down in Atlanta?
No, those are mostly research agencies. No, that's a question of whether the government should be involved in financing research.
Which is no, hard no.
And the answer is no.
Well, that's a very complicated issue.
I'm going
It's
hard
not
no.
an easy answer with respect to that.
We'll eliminate half of the Department of Health and Human
something
Services?
like that.
Okay, one half. There we go. Housing and Urban Development?
Out.
Oh, didn't even pause over that one. Department of the Interior?
Oh, well, but housing and urban development has done an enormous amount of harm. My God. If you think of the way in which they've destroyed parts of cities under the rubric of eliminating slums.
Jack Kemp.
You remember, Martin Anderson wrote a book on the federal bulldozer describing the effect of the urban development. There have been many more dwelling units torn down in the name of public housing that have been built.
Jack Kemp has proposed selling to the current inhabitants of public housing their unit, their townhouse, their apartment, for $1 a piece, and just shifting the ownership to the people who live in it.
If you got rid of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it would be worth doing that.
All right, done. That's good.
Damn. Okay, so Milt has such a problem with the Department of Housing and Urban Development that he said if you take everyone in HUD programs and you sold them their house that they're getting Section 8, whatever it is, that they're getting subsidies for and they're not paying, you sell it to them for $1. And he said if it gets rid of HUD, it's worth doing that. Holy crap. Wow. Yes. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, but hell yeah. I love that guy. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He's doing a bang-up job down there. Yes. And Brendan, we're upping that, by the way. I think 300 grand is just, it's especially the way you and I can pull them back. I don't know 300 grand. We have to do a study. Yeah. Let's just go have some drinks and then we'll take that bill and we'll extrapolate it out to what it would actually take to cover all those. And I'm guessing we're at about 500K. Yeah. Because we got to pay ourselves. It's not like our time is free. We got to pay ourselves too. Jeez, come on. This is government. Smooch it, Doge. All right, here we go.
On Department of the Interior, your beloved National Park Service.
Well, given the problem there is you first have to sell off all the land that the government owns. But that's what you should do.
But it could be done pretty quickly.
It could be done. You should do that.
Yeah,
There's
China's
no reason
mine
the
already,
government to own. The government now owns something like 1/3 of all the land in the country.
Damn.
And that's too much. Should go down to zero.
Should go down to, well, not entirely zero. They ought to own the land on which government buildings are.
Be fair, Milt.
Okay, terrific. Department of Justice.
Oh, yes.
Keep that one.
Keep that one.
Labor.
No.
Gone. State.
Keep.
Keep it. Transportation.
Gone.
Gone. The Treasury.
You have to keep it to collect taxes.
All right, collect taxes through the Treasury. Veterans Affairs.
you can regard the Veteran Affairs as a way of paying essentially salaries for services of those who have been in the armed force, but you ought to be able to get rid of it.
You should be able to pay it off.
Pay it off.
Pay off lump sums, perhaps.
That's right.
And just get rid of it.
Fantastic.
Okay, Milton Friedman, if you are made dictator for one day, the next day the American government...
No, I don't want to be made dictator.
You wouldn't.
I don't believe in dictators.
Okay.
I believe we want to bring about change.
He's being...
by the
dude, come on.
by
Milton.
the agreement
He's being
for the
facetious.
citizens. I don't believe in arbitrary rule.
Let me put it this way then.
If we can't persuade the public that it's desirable to do these things, we have no right to impose them, even if we had the power to do it.
All right. From 14 departments down to
Its basic fundamental functions. What are its fundamental functions? Preserve the peace, defend the country.
All right.
Provide a mechanism whereby individuals can adjudicate their disputes. That's the Justice Department. Protect individuals from being coerced by other individuals. The police function.
Right.
And now, this is both the central government and the state and local governments. The police function is primarily local and central.
That's right. So, Milton, here's what I'm going to propose. We'll make this easy. All of Congress, all of our governance, if it cannot be housed in one of these vacant malls, it's too big. There we go. Now, I'm telling you what, I forget that like 2/3 of our government is working from home right now. Come on, Doge. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, I'm man crushing. On Elon Vivek, RFK Jr. This is happy, just so happy. And I have always man crushed on Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, she's a girl crush, but so girl. Milton, a cabinet pick. No, Milton is not a cabinet pick. No, we're done. We're done. We're gonna. It's gonna be ageist. It's ageism. I'm done. I'm done with these. Okay. Nobody over 80. I'm done. Sorry if anyone's over 80. And I think we're gonna go to the cool mill. I'm just gonna go to the cool mill in our study. Yeah, because I think we can take it outside. I think because there's influence, like because there's West Coast IPAs, so I think we have to go to the West Coast too. And maybe some offshore fishing to just, kind of see how each of the IPAs deal with the motion of the ocean, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll get that study together. It's fantastic. And I know Congressman Schweiker, we might be able to get this thing through. Biggs is still in. Debbie Lesko, did she become the county superintendent or something like that? Oh, no. Anyway, she's a fantastic lady. Whether you like her as a congresswoman or not, she's a fantastic woman. She's a grandmother and just a cool family person. Debbie Lesko is a pretty cool person. All right, let's get our decompression session. This is just, oh yeah, I know you guys are coming. You coming with Rhonda's in. Everybody's in. I mean, this is research here, people. This is research. Yeah. Okay. Let's get down to our decompression session, brought to you by our pharmaceutical company that brings us the drug, a brain.
Election made you feel on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being Nazi. My name is Dr. Nick Peterson, and I specialize in those suffering from TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. Hello. I'm Dr. Peterson. How are you? Well, Donald Trump is a felon. Nope. I asked how you were doing. The majority of Americans can mentally handle election results on both sides of the aisle. However, there's this small, albeit growing, group of, I don't want to say Americans, but people that are just disconnected from reality. Fascist. And honestly, it makes diagnosing these people a whole lot easier. I just check their social media. Gone are the days when you just search your symptoms on WebMD at home by yourself.
Right.
Now they record their symptoms and post them for the world to see. The haircut is also a dead giveaway.
No.
So, what brings you in today? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the orange democracy-destroying Putin-loving dictator. All right, so mental illness. They are completely blind to the fact that their absurd actions and ideologies were a big factor in their party's loss. Let me ask you this. Do you even know what democracy is? Follow-up question. Do you know how Kamala Harris became the nominee? I know you're a deplorable Nazi fascist bigot. Okay, neat. Turns out that calling half the country Nazis for 4 years was not a winning strategy. And yet somehow, not even Cardi B could save him. Do you realize what I'm going through? Yep, delusions. I am losing my right to vote. What? Where are you getting your information? Whoopi Goldberg? Well, what's the remedy, you might be wondering? Well, if you ask me, it's a history lesson in Jesus, but the pharmacy doesn't offer those. I prescribe them a brain, and I send them to tryabrain.com for more information. Well, I'll show you. I'm moving to Canada. That'd be great. And I'll be shaving my head. Oh, no. And one last thing, I'm going on a sex strike. You're lost. Oh, no.
I love it, dude. Oh, my gosh. And by the way, congratulations to Portia de Rossi and Ellen DeGeneres, the happy couple. Congratulations. They've moved to Europe because of Donald Trump. And I believe Tom Hanks has done it as well. And I know I have a mocking tone there. It's kind of a condescending tone with that. But actually, I'm impressed. Like if you said you were going to leave, if Donald Trump becomes president, and then you actually leave, I mean, they put up her house for sale, everything done. She gone, permanent residence. Good for you. I'm impressed. Until we find the Epstein list and the Diddy list, and you're on both of them. She will be. But that's just me. Europe. Oh my gosh, could you imagine that? So Alfred was talking about all the Muslims that have basically taken over UK. And yeah, those two walking down the street holding hands. Good luck. Good luck with that. That Tom Hanks was still quarantined in Australia. He wishes he was. Oh. And then remember we got to see the lesser known Hanks kid. And we're like, the hell is that guy? What is that? It was like the John McCain funeral. They're like looking at all the kids going, wait. What? Okay. Yeah. One of these things is not like the other. I'm going to get out of here now. We are going to hit the like and all that, and hit the share and all that stuff, and do all that if you could, because we're rocking and rolling. We're up and running, and it took us a little bit, but we are here and we are not going anywhere. The decision has been made. We are monetizing, and things are ready to roll. So I appreciate all of your help, all of your love, all of your support, and all of your comments. You guys are the best. And we will see you mañana right here on In Other News. Have a